Welcome to Week 7 of the Mansfield Free Public Library's 2021 Summer Reading Program, Tales and Tales. For more information on our summer reading program, you can go to mansfieldpubliclibrary.com/children. For updates on when videos are going up or programming, you can follow us on Facebook at Mansfield Public Library or check out our events calendar at mansfieldpubliclibrary.com/events calendar. Just as a heads up for everyone, our summer reading survey is available now for completion. We have paper copies at the library that you can grab, or you can do it online. The link for that is on our website at mansfieldpubliclibrary.com/children. And I will probably be doing a Facebook post with just the link to the survey sometime in the next week or so. For this week's story time, our animal of the week are cephalopods. If you are interested in cephalopods, we do have these books and a couple others that you can borrow from the library. So, let's get started. Giant Octopus by Karen Wallace, illustrated by Mike Bostock. A gentle giant octopus jets through the shadows. She's huge like a spaceship. Her eyes glow in the water. Long tentacles fly like ribbons behind her. Silver-backed fish scatter before her. A wandering mother octopus moves through the water. Inside her body, she carries her eggs. She looks for a den that is safe and well hidden, for a crack in a rock face or a hole under a stone. When an octopus needs to move quickly, they jet backward by sucking in seawater and pumping it out through a funnel like a siphon. An octopus sinks like a huge rubber flower. Sand muddies the water as she lands on the seabed. Octopuses use their tentacles like fingers to sense things. They use the suckers on their tentacles to grip things. Octopus eyes turn forwards and backward. Her tentacles sense a crab in the water. A tentacle searches, it stretches and touches. Unlucky octopus. Crab claws have sharp edges. They nip at the tentacle. The octopus pulls back. The crab scuttles sideways and escapes in the sand. A mother giant octopus slides over the seedbed. Her body stretches like taffy over the stones. Her skin ripples like seaweed. She's black as the sea kelp. The goggle-eyed octopus feels her way forward. Usually, the giant octopus is reddish-brown, but when it's hunting or hiding, it can change to become very dark or very pale within seconds. But under a boulder, a wolf eel is waiting. His mottled gray face darts from the shadows. His teeth strike like daggers. He rips off a tentacle, then sinks like a nightmare deep into his den. Octopuses have 8 tentacles, A healthy octopus can regrow its tentacles if they are damaged. A frightened giant octopus squirts ink at the wolf eel. She shoots back from the boulder, back over the seabed. She's pumping and sucking the sea from her body. If an octopus is attacked, it will squirt out a cloud of inky liquid to hide its escape. A quivering giant octopus rests on a boulder. Underneath is a cave that is easily guarded. She squeezes inside. She drags pebbles around her. Her search for a home is over at last. Octopuses are about as clever as cats, and like cats, they are very curious. Octopuses don't have any bones, and they can squeeze through the tiniest of holes. A mother giant octopus lays eggs in her cave den. They hang from the roof like grapes on a string. She guards them from crabs and nibbling fishes. While her babies are growing, she never eats and never rests. A female giant octopus will lay as many as 60,000 tiny eggs. After 5 months, her babies swim from their egg sacs. They squirm and they wriggle. They jet through the shadows. They're sucking and pumping the sea from their bodies. Lots of other animals like to eat baby octopuses, so only 2 or 3 out of every brood live to become adults. A mother giant octopus rests in her cave den. She watches her babies swim up through the water. A gentle giant octopus shrinks in the shadows. Her life is over as their lives begin. There are more than 150 different kinds of octopuses, and the giant octopus is the biggest. The tentacles of the largest one ever found were an amazing 15 3/4 feet long. Even though they are so huge, giant octopuses do not attack humans. They live in coastal waters in the North Pacific Ocean and feed mainly on crabs, clams, and sea snails. Female giant octopuses lay eggs only once in their lives. ones, no big tumbling ones. He missed the different fish swimming by his cave, and the starfish and shiny mussels. He missed warm spots in cold water, and cold spots in warm. He hadn't known how nice that was until it was gone. He tried to tell the humans he was bored. He tried to show them how small the tank was. But she only laughed and peeled his tentacles off her arms. One by one, by one, by one, by one, by one, by one. That was when he knew he had to go. He waited for night to come. The same old dinner plopped into the same still water. The sleepy sharks cruised back and forth, and the slow sea stars dozed. The lights went out, and it was time. He took one more picture so they wouldn't worry. Then he slid down the glass and across the floor. He made himself flat and squeezed beneath the door. Outside, the pier was noisy and bright, but he smelled the salt of the ocean close by. He reached way, way down until he felt the spray and dropped. He changed colors 3 times in the water, just because he could. It was a long swim back to his cave. The ocean was warm and cold, and shivery and tumbling. He had to dive away from boats, and he got very hungry. But he thought of the same food plopping into the tank, and the same unchanging water, and the 4 glass walls he couldn't swim through, and he kept on until he saw starfish and mussels he knew. At last, he found his cave. He chased a crab and brought it home for dinner. But there was sand on his floor, and there were fish sleeping in his bed. He swept them out. Out! He made his cave just right. No one gave him tests or wanted a picture taken. He was home, and he could do what he wanted. And so he settled in to watch the world swim by. Squid are an important link in the ocean food chain. It is a hunter of smaller animals such as krill and fish, and is itself the prey of hunters such as swordfish and dolphins. To move along, a squid draws water into its body and then forces it out through a funnel in its belly. This creates a powerful jet of water that pushes the squid backward through the water. A squid has 8 arms and 2 tentacles. When it gets close to its prey, it shoots out its long tentacles to grab the animal and pull it into its mouth. Squid can change the color of their skin. They can blend into the background or change color to confuse a predator. Their color reflects their mood, too. Angry squid are often red. This squid is bioluminescent. It gives off an eerie glow in the dark. Squid have large eyes that are very similar to human eyes, with a pupil and a lens. They rely on their sight to find prey. Giant Squid by Candace Fleming and Eric Rohman. Down, down, in the depths of the sunless sea, deep, deep in the cold, cold dark. Creatures strange and fearsome lurk. With writhing arms and ghostly, lidless eyes, they glide, some large as buses, some weighing a ton. So big, yet rarely seen. Instead, they are merely glimpsed now and then, from the prow of a ship, from a rocky shore, through the lens of an underwater camera. Who are these giants of the dark seas? How do they hunt? How do they eat? How do they breed? It is a mystery. After all, how can you know about an animal hidden from view? You must rely on clues, as scientists do. Clues left behind by the creatures themselves. A tentacle, an eye, pieces found around the world, found over centuries, by whalers and sailors and people walking the beach. You examine each piece, questioning and guessing, wondering at the weirdness of these baffling beasts. Beasts we call giant squid. Here are its tentacles, too, curling and twisting, and 30 feet long, waiting for a passing fish, another squid, anything swimming by. The tentacles seize their prey. They surround their thrashing meal. They latch on with powerful, sucker-studded clubs. Row after row of suckers. Suckers ringed with saw-like teeth that rip into skin and hold on tight. 8 coiling arms join in, pushing the prey to its beak. The beak, bone-hard and parrot-like, it sits in the center of those 8 slithering arms, protruding from the creature's mouth, rotating from side to side, ripping apart prey. And what lies behind the beak? A dark hole, the mouth. And inside the mouth, a terrifying tongue-like ribbon of muscle, covered with sharp, tiny blades that slice, grind, file the food into a pasty sludge, easy for giant squid to digest. In the murk, an eye, round, unblinking, some as big as soccer balls. The biggest eyes on the planet. Why? So it can spy pinpoints of light in its pitch-black world. Glints, flickers, set off by tiny creatures, jellyfish and krill, disturbed by a diving sperm whale. Their flashes create a shimmering outline, faint, so faint. But not too faint for the big-eyed squid. The outline is a warning. Time to flee. Sucking water into its body and squirting it out, the creature jets away. Danger past. Alone once more, in the murky depths, the creature floats, rising and falling at will. The squid is pinkish purple now, but any second it could change color. Maybe pale yellow, maybe silvery gray, maybe red with brown stripes or orange with black dots. Which colors, which patterns, it's another mystery. And why do they change? Maybe to impress a mate. Where does the female squid lay her eggs? How long does it take them to hatch? More unanswered questions. Still more mystery. Yet one day, a baby giant squid hatches from its egg. Teensy, tiny, just 2 inches long. In the ocean, it is dangerous to be bite-sized. Watch out for that barracuda. Quick. Ink. It's gone. This week for story time, we have actually 2 activities that you can do. One is an octopus themed activity, and the other is this squid craft. The instructions for both and a good chunk of the supplies you will need to do them are in the grab and go kit. If you can't make it to the library to grab a go kit, or we have run out of this week's grab and go kit by the time you get to this video, the instructions and the printouts are in the video description below. Well, they're linked in the video description below. Thank you so much for joining us this week for story time as a part of our summer reading program. I hope you enjoyed yourself and you enjoyed the activities that went along with it. For more information on our summer reading program and everything that is involved in it, you can go to mansfieldpubliclibrary.com/children. If you would like to complete the summer reading survey, you can either pick up a paper copy at the library or fill out the online form. The link for that can be found at mansfieldpubliclibrary.com/children. Otherwise, I will see you all next week for our next story time. Thanks, bye.